May God protect each and every one of us and bless the work of our hands. Today is our fundraising. We will not stay here for a long time. At least 2 hours, 30 minutes is what we will spend here. May God continue to bless the work of our hands. Where others go and fail, may we go and succeed. Let God increase us every day as we have decided to save the lives of millions of Biafrans back home with the little resources that we've given genuinely and sincerely from our heart. May God open up every closed doors for us. He say, welcome, Biafrans. Welcome. Welcome, Madam Key. Welcome, Simon Ekpa from Chicago. Welcome, Sister Stella, senior citizen. Welcome, King David. Welcome, senior citizen Ben. Welcome, we get wine. Welcome, Biafra Liaison Onyenyere one. Sister Augustina, welcome. BRGIE, welcome. Sister Nwachukwu, welcome. No, Ikondo Emeji. Abasedian of Ruwo. Odinawa, welcome. Abasedian of Fame. CEOs, no. Odogu, no. Ikondo. Isi, Ikondo. Ohe Hook, Ikondo. Holland, Ikondo. Abasedian of Ruwo. No. Zooplus, no. Prince, no. Ikenna, no. Onyejua, no. Ekomdo. Ego Igwe, Ekomdo. Biafra or Ekomdo. Salome, Ekomdo. Ikoro, no. Emedi, welcome each and every one of you. Mama Betty, Ekomdo, welcome. Please, my people, share the space. Defense, Ekomdo, no. Share the space, my people. It's just an extension of what we did yesterday. Welcome each and every one of you. I really appreciate your turn up. Please share the space so that others may, get the link and come in and speak to Biafrans. I don't know, my spirit just changed now as I'm seeing Aonyendu in this condition that he is. Yeah. This man have suffered enough, and I don't know how people that put him there will be sleeping comfortably in their homes. How heartless they are. But we know that God is not sleeping. He doesn't sleep, he doesn't slumber. His eyes are on him. And very soon, he will raise his right hand, and every power will be under his feet. He said, okay, we are just going to go straight to the topic of the day. I don't know, Madam K is kicked out. If you are free, please see how internet is behaving. Nobody has requested for mic. The only person that requested was Madam K, but internet has kicked her out. So please, if you know you stay for a long time, you can request for mic. Let me know and send you a co-host. Even senior citizen is no more here. Internet has kicked her out. Okay. So the topic for today says how Nigeria denies, downplays, and diverts responsibility on the killings of Christians in Nigeria. So it's like an extension. I call this topic, there is no space, I would have added the 3 Ds of Nigerian government concerning the killings of Biafrans, the 3 Ds, but there was no space for that. And you can see we have the first D as denies, the second D downplays, and then the third D is divert. So this is the method that the Nigerian government, the terrorist government, is using to gamble and play with the lives of Christians in Nigeria. So that is what we'll be talking about. And under this topic, we are going to talk about our Onyendu. In fact, I'm going to start the space with him. Okay, hold on. Let me send it. Madam K, let me send back the mic. So, I want to start the space with him. Because what is going on now is terrible. We are going to examine how the Nigerian government has systematically denied, downplayed, and divert attention from what many international observers are calling a silent genocide against Christians. The 3 Ds that they are using. Yeah. So, as I said, this space will contain a discussion on mass killing and the extreme violence, and our Onyendu's case, the deliberate omission from presidential pardon. His name was not there. And religious persecution and ethnic cleansing will be part of what we'll talk about as well. And the complicity of the terrorist Nigerian government. Yeah. So we are going to use the word as it is. Madam K, I've sent it to you. I've sent the speaker. I don't know why you're not getting it. I think it's from my internet now. Check it out if you see it. I've sent it with the co-host as well. Okay, so we are going to use the word as it is. We are not going to behave like the Khan president. So whenever we are going to mention persecution, we have to use the right word, and the word like genocide. Yeah. Those are the words that we are not going to, play with. So before we start, there is this announcement that we have to be making in all our programs, whether it is in YouTube, TikTok, anywhere you are. We have to keep on announcing that there will be no election in Biafra land this November. In fact, starting from 4th, that NGOZI is planning her own to, gather people and transfer to her brother. So there will be no election in Biafra land. That is the announcement. So if you have a family back home, draw their ears. There will be no election in Biafra land. So call your families back home and then tell them to sit at home. Our defense and de facto government have already released a memo to this effect. There will be no election in Biafra land. No matter the message from Owazurike, who is pretending as if he loves Onyendu, indirectly is still fighting the intention of Onyendu for us to be free. He has come out and said he will fight against it. This is the problem that we are having. These people talk with both sides of their mouth. So please call your people and tell them that there will be no election in Biafra land. That is an order from our defense. Yeah, so I just want to talk about the injustice of Onyendu before I go to the topic of the day. Okay, my co-host Holland, do you want to say hi to Biafrans before I proceed? Holland, say hi to Biafrans before I continue. Holland, are you there? Can anybody hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Okay, thank you, B Chicago. Thank you. Okay, maybe Holland is not close to. Thank you. Thank you. It's not close to his phone. So let me continue. Yeah. So I want to talk about one of the, outrageous injustice in modern history, in fact, in this 21st century that I have ever seen in my life. So it's a story that it will make our blood to boil, at least for those that have not heard about about the killings of Christians before any other person started talking about it. He's the man who demanded accountability. He's the man who cried out for Biafran self-determination. That man has been detained for years, 5 years now, in the dungeon. While we see the actual mass murderers, they walk free, while we see Boko Haram terrorists being pardoned and reintegrated into the Nigerian military, and they were busy using the weapons that they got from the US and every other country to kill Christians. While those who burn churches face no consequences in whatever they did. That man is our Onyendu Nnamdi Okukanu. So he is the leader. Why I'm giving this little biography is for those that are just listening or maybe might have just heard the name for the first time. Yeah, because now they are canvassing and searching for information about Christians that are being killed. A lot of people are asking questions. Who are these Christians that are killed? They are Biafrans. And we are the ones that have gathered here to continue to inform the world what is happening. So our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Yes, and he advocated for the independence of Biafra state in the whole eastern region. And they call this region Igbo majority, and we are predominantly Christians. We have the Jews and we have the traditional worshippers. And all that he wanted was independence for the Biafra region and the self-determination for every other indigenous person in the whole southeastern region of Nigeria. All he wanted was protection for Christians, protection for the Jews, and protection for traditional worshippers, and as well protection for Christians in the whole country called Nigeria. All that he wanted was to end the marginalization and persecution of everyone in Nigeria. Yeah, that is what he called for. And his message was very, very consistent that Christians are being systematically killed in Nigeria, just like what the senators in the US are doing today. Our Onyendu started it, but he has been locked up. He raised an alarm. He was heralding that Igbo people, which are Biafrans, and all the southeastern Christians are marginalized. He heralded that the Nigerian state has failed to protect its citizens, and that the only solution was self-determination and independence state of Biafra. And that is why we are continuing from where he stopped. Before we knew what was happening in 2015, he was first arrested in Nigeria on charges of treasonably felony. 2017. Then he was released on bail, and then he fled back to UK. If I've made mistake, please, when you pick the mic, you kindly correct me with the yes. Okay? And in 2021, he was kidnapped in Kenya by the Nigerian terrorist agencies. Yes. Extraordinarily renditioned to Nigeria. It was not an arrest. It was not a legal arrest. We call that kidnapping. They abducted him from Kenya. Kenya is a sovereign state, and they brought him back to Nigeria. And that is called extraordinary rendition. And it is illegal under international law. And we have seen multiple international organizations, human rights groups, they have condemned this kidnapping. And since June 2021, he has been in detention over 5 years now without proper trial. And now he's held is critical. And they've even denied him a proper medical assessment. They've denied him that. And they now laid these charges against him. He was charged with terrorism, treasonable felony, and illegal persecution of possession of firearms, and all the grammar they could think of. But the thing is that they don't have any evidence of terrorism against him. Nothing. No evidence that he personally killed anyone. They have not even caught him with a gun. Nothing. His crime is primarily his speech, his broadcast. And what was he broadcasting? Demanding Biafra independence and still highlighting this Christian persecution. Why I'm taking time is so that the world will know that this persecution did not start today. That there was someone that only used microphone to raise this alarm that Christians are being killed in Nigeria. But that person today has been locked up. If we compare this to the treatment that the actual terrorists have received, it is nothing to write home about. Because just yesterday, October 10, there was a presidential pardon. October 10. This is where the injustice has become absolutely clear. Nigeria Council of State, they met to consider presidential pardons. This is when the president grants clemency to prisoners. You see? And when I went to look at the list includes various politicians that were even convicted of corruption. Some criminals convicted of various offenses. Even some deceased persons were granted pardon. Those that have died were granted pardon. Oh God. So my question, who was deliberately excluded from even being considered? That person is Nnamdi Okukano. They excluded his name completely. Human rights activist Madi Shehu condemned the Council of State decision to exclude our Onyendu from the pardon list, calling it, I'm quoting his word directly, he said, insensitive and unjust, and showing a deliberate disregard for equity, justice, and peace. We have seen a Showore that described our Onyendu's ongoing trial as persecution, not prosecution. That is what is happening to him. So let's just think, a man whose crime is demanding self-determination and speaking about Christian persecution is not granted pardon. But meanwhile, Boko Haram members have been granted pardon, while Onyendu is still sitting there in detention for speech. For speech. Look at what Nigerian terrorist government is doing for the actual terrorists. They have given Operation Safe Corridor and what they call a de-radicalization program. If you go back to December 2024, the Nigerian military has welcomed over 130,000 they call repentant Boko Haram terrorists and their families back into society. We saw the same thing in February 2024. Borno state government cleared more than 1,000 suspects of terrorism involvement and released them from military detention. The news is there. In March that same year, the Nigerian army planned to release more than 500 detainees of Boko Haram. Those people had link with Boko Haram. Because this means that people who bomb churches on Christmas Day and Easter Day and every other day they go to worship, people who massacred Christian villages, people who kidnap Christian schoolgirls, people who rape and enslave Christian women, people who burn churches, people who behead Christians on video and they are very proud of it, the people who enforce Sharia through violence, These people are being released from detention and they are reintegrated into communities, and they will send them out to Biafra land to kill us. They will send them out into the population to kill Christians. We have seen even some of them have joined security forces supported by the Secretary of United Nations, Antonio. Meanwhile, our Onyendu, who operated just a radio station, who gave speeches about self-determination, who heralded and highlighted Christian persecution, who called for independence through civil disobedience, which we have been doing, has been compared, Onyendu has been compared to Martin Luther Jr. in his own method of seeking for our freedom. He has been illegally detained, illegally kidnapped, illegally denied bail repeatedly. He has been excluded from pardon consideration. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? So it means that if you're a Boko Haram terrorist who bomb churches, who kill Christians, who kidnap women and rape and burn villages, Nigeria will just forgive you. Just like that. And then they will reintegrate you, put you on a payroll, and even give you a job as security forces. But if you are, the likes of Onyendu, who spoke about Christian killings and demanding accountability, just like the same thing the senators are demanding now, what will Nigeria do? They will kidnap you from any country that you are. They will detain you for years without proper trial. Even if you are sick, they don't care. They don't care about whatever happens to you. What is going on? Because this tells you about everything Nigerian government prioritize. They are more comfortable with mass murders who repent than the activists who speak the truth about Christian persecution. Because Boko Haram terrorists don't threaten their power structure, and they will do that very soon. So they can be controlled, managed, and absorbed. But someone like Onyendu, who speaks the truth, that is now a threat to power. Because that is the way they reason. I don't blame them, because people that will bend their head and allow a cow to pee on them and they use cow urine to wash their head, what do we expect from the way they reason? What do we expect? Because I have seen Aloy Ejimako, he has come out. That means the word that our APM said is penetrating. After dropping episode here about why he's also giving history about Onyendu, I'm not going to read it. But the news, the caption is saying that Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer reject request to resume his trial. I support him. What kind of trial do they want to resume again? What kind of trial do they want to resume again? I support him 100%. Let him reject it. It has become a child's play. That is what it means. I'm very happy that he has woken up to face the reality. Yeah, that is what is happening. So that was why I said I will just start the beginning part of this space today to talk about our Onyendu, because that presidential pardon, who prepared the list? Why did they remove his name from there? I don't know if anybody have anything to say before I go to the topic of the day. So I'll use my mic here. Yeah, please, if you have anything briefly you want to contribute towards this Onyendu's case, you can go ahead before we start the space properly. Thank you so much. And if I don't see any hand raised up, then I will continue. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, so sorry to toss. Yeah, my mind
Yeah.
is taken away. Yes, we can hear you, my dear.
I have sent co-host to you. I don't know. Maybe it's internet. You've not seen it yet. Yes, Minister Love, or Madam K, you want to say something about Onyendu before we proceed?
I'll
I
come
think,
back. I'm doing
okay,
something.
Holland is not close by. Okay,
Okay.
Minister Love, please go ahead. Okay, Madam K.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning,
Good
Good morning.
morning.
Sister Tutors. Good
Good
morning,
night.
dear friends.
Good
Yeah,
night,
Yeah,
Tuba.
this is so
all of
sweet.
the above.
Good morning.
No
Good
problem.
All, All of the above, whatever the clock says is correct.
So far as there is good, no problem.
Yes,
Exactly.
so my sister, I just logged in not long ago. What are we talking here? These things have to happen because if it doesn't happen this way, those people who claim that there's tomorrow for them in Nigeria will never understand it. What hasn't happened for a blind to see? What hasn't happened for the deaf to hear? When Antonio Guterres came to Nigeria, did he go to Biafra land? Because as far as they are concerned, Biafra is not even in existence. Like Obi Kororonko said, Biafra died how many years ago? To them, Biafra is not in existence. So they take loan, they don't include Biafra people. They make plans, they don't include them. The only time they remember Biafra is oil and gas and other resources, plus human manpower. But the idiots claim to be Biafrans still think there's hope for them. I mean, I don't understand it. Is there any way they have not made it clear that Biafrans doesn't belong to Nigeria? Is there any other way to say it? They've said it in every form and shape. But those ones who claim from the get-go, it is their job, it is the obligation to make Nigeria exist, cannot see it. It is to their own shame. It is to their own shame. Don't you see birds of the same feather flock together? Who is their president? Who is their vice? What characters of human beings are they? So is it surprising that they pardon people in their own category? Onyendu is not a terrorist. Onyendu is not a drug dealer. Onyendu is not a murderer. Onyendu is not a thief. Onyendu is not child molester. Onyendu is not a kidnapper. So when they are doing their pardon, they have a list of those they will pardon. Onyendu is not in that list. So why would they include him in the evil list? It's even good they didn't, because that would be mockery at the highest level. So they are still being who they are. Don't be surprised. I'm not surprised that they didn't include him, because that's a list of criminals, and Onyendu is not one of them. So he cannot be in that list. The world is watching. If Aloy Ejimako is now waking up to see that there's no need dragging Onyendu up and down in the name of trial to reject it, I say good morning to him. The people that I'm concerned about is those people, especially in the diaspora, who have their heads buried in the sand, waiting for manna to fall into their mouth. I pity them. I pity them because they have agreed to be slave at home and slave abroad. If they have sense, they should come out and support their land. They should come out and support the defense force, because that's what it is. Anybody who claims to be a Biafran, old or young, man or woman, boy or girl, that have not seen everything should remain stupid. But if you're a Biafran, it is your moral obligation to support the defense force. It doesn't matter how much you bring. Be it 1 penny, be it 2 pennies, bring it. Contribute to the defense force. That's the only thing, that's the only hope, that's the only thing we have to do. Nothing else to do. No hope for Nigeria. Nigeria is a done deal. It is disintegrated. It's just the shell people are looking at. The real Nigeria is disintegrated already. Why are people fooling themselves? My people, come. Let's defend our land. It is our job. I yield my mic for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister Law, for speaking to Biafrans about the case. You really made a point, because when I went back to listen to look at the list of people there, I saw Chibweze serving a life sentence was pardoned alongside Nwogu Peters, who had served 7 out of 17 years sentenced for fraud. I think you have a point, because all these people here that they mentioned are criminals. There is another one they said he pardoned 4 former convicts, including former House of Representative member Farouk Lawan, Anastasia Daniel Nwaba, Barrister Hussein Umar, and Saudu. They were all pardoned to enable them to integrate into the society and continue to sell the drugs. This is the drug lord, because this guy was pardoned. The main people that are in that list, what they did was cocaine trafficker. And this Nweke Chibweze and 174 others, that was the business that they were doing. I think you have a point there. Yes, because if not, they would have, even though we expected him to be released, he would have become the white sheep among the black wolves. But let's see what God will do for him, because we really want him to be free. And I believe that God will do something very great for him. Thank you so much, man. So, my people, we deliberated on these data yesterday. So I will not talk much about the data, just a little recap. We made mention of the Yewelta massacre in Borno, that we had over 200 Christians. Remember, I'm focusing on the 3 Ds that the Nigerian terrorist government are using. The first one is deny, second one downplay, and the third one is divert. So we are going to see how that is done. But let's just a little recap on the data we had yesterday. And we saw the Yewalta massacre. Afam, you're requesting. We saw Yewalta massacre in Benue State, where we had over 200 Christians that were slaughtered in a single night. We talked at length about this yesterday. And then we also saw attack and what the terrorists came with, all the AK-47. And that was what even made Pope Francis to call it a terrible massacre. Because even the Vatican, which typically exercise some diplomatic restraint in what they are doing, they couldn't hold this one. They had to call it a terrible massacre. They couldn't remain silent in that one because it was overwhelming. And then we talked about the one that happened in June 2025, that 85 Christians were killed, same in Benue. And then the Sankere massacre as well, we talked at length. So I'm just giving you a recap about what we discussed yesterday, because it's like an extension of what we did yesterday. So the broader historical picture, let's say since 2009, and there's this estimate of 52,000 to 62,000 Christians have been killed in Nigeria, and over 18,000 churches have been burnt down, destroyed, and even forced to close, especially in that Benue State. And over 5 million people have been displaced. Yeah, that's been displaced. So, and we said yesterday, 90% of Christians that have been killed are killed in Nigeria. So with all this data that we have, the response from the government is that it is a lie. It is a lie. That is the response that we are getting from the Nigerian terrorist government. But you know what is happening today? We have seen that even when they are saying that it is a lie, we have seen Washington Post. Remember yesterday we were looking at the more senators that have joined the queue to talk against these killings of Christians in Nigeria. Now, the Washington Post have joined. And the way they wrote their own, they said, you know, like somebody that was running and said, oh, finally. They said, at last. They break out and said, at last, the world is noticing the persecution of Christians. That is the caption that Washington Post made. You see, this is a US newspaper, Washington Post. I think I also retweeted it. You see a picture of a Reverend sister holding rosary, praying her rosary. That is it. So you can go back there and click. There is a link I pasted also. You can click and hear the full gist. It says violence against Christian merit. Oh my God, merit US pressure on Nigerian government for strong countermeasures. So I'm not going to read it. You can go and search for it because we don't have too much time. So now let's listen to this man here. The lie.
In terms of having the leaders of Boko Haram. Recently, we arrested the leaders of a rival group from Boko Haram, which are inflicting all kinds of problems in the West African sub-region. We have seen the surrendering. This is a fact that has been reported everywhere.
This is not true. They have not arrested anyone. This is Tinubu's spokesperson. Bwala Daniel is his name. We have not seen any arrest of any Boko Haram member, but as we rightly said, if the head is a liar, what do you expect from the disciples? So he is saying that they've been arresting Boko Haram members, they will see them surrender. No, none of this has happened in Nigeria.
About the insecurity situation in the Northwest. Now, here is the difference. On the government side, we admit of the fact that insecurity is one of the foremost responsibility of government and that we are fighting it and we're dealing with it. Where we have problem is that suddenly there is this narrative that tends to sort of separate between the Christians and other faith and other people who are also victims of this crisis. And that's why we say the agenda is to ensure that they stay off religious crisis in the country. And once they do that, especially most of them, now look at it this way, almost all the lawmakers from abroad who are basing the argument is on a report from one person. Meanwhile, there are multiple sources that are...
Did you hear what he said? That the report, he is staying in the zoo to say, that, we discussed this yesterday, that in America they have what we call watchdogs, and they are there in all the countries. American senators did not get any data from one source. I will go back today and then there is a handle that I'm going to read. I got the news to really know what happened that Nigeria was removed from CPC. So these people got recommendation and news from their watchdogs. We spoke yesterday. But this man is sitting down here. If you go and watch this video, you even see that the woman that is interviewing him said in her mind, like, this man, does he expect that she's a fool? Upon all the evidence, does this man now mean that what the Congress persons are reporting, to the extent of filing and submitting a bill, they are all, they got the data out of a blue moon? So the woman is not even comfortable listening. You see the way she ended this conversation, sharp, sharp. Because she knew that what this man was saying, they were all lies. Let's continue.
Have their reports about the situation in Nigeria.
So even if the characterization of the targeting of Christian communities as a genocide is, far further than is truly representative of what's happening on the ground. At the same time, voices from the Christian community have for years made it very clear that they feel that their position as being victims of violence from Boko Haram, amongst others, because the majority of Boko Harams, as far as I understand it, as far as we can guess, their victims are Muslim, but at the same time, a substantial number of their victims are also Christian. Now, again, just to point out that the concerns of those who are raising attention about the security situation in Nigeria, they focus on Boko Haram, which generally operate in the northeast of the country, which was born from Borno State, my degree. But then also we have the concerns of the clashes in the Middle Belt between the Fulani and the settled, mostly Christian communities.
Right.
Now, it's those communities, the Christian communities, who have often become victims of clashes that have gone both ways, that have raised their voices saying that they feel like their very uniquely vulnerable position has not been acknowledged by successive governments. So it's not just Tinubu.
So here's the point. Let me be frank with you. When Boko Haram insurgency started at the beginning, they were targeting Christians and they were burning churches. It has been reported globally. Because their intention at the time was to stir up religious crisis. Over a period of time, they did not succeed in that. So what they did was they broadened their attack system, which now affected every single Nigerian when you happen to be in their line of action. To the point where now, if you look at the data in the real sense of the word, has more of the non-Christian faith who are victims of this.
So we're not arguing that, but what I think that
He is dodging from mentioning Fulani terrorists. These people, I don't know where they go from their training. He is saying that Boko Haram did not succeed, but what did they? If they find you within their territory when they are operating, then there is no other option than for them to kill you. When this woman, what this woman used to give him this data was the message from the CAN president. I will talk about CAN president later. And the woman is showing her videos and pictures of Christians that has been persecuted. He refused to answer the question. He's trying to dodge from the question the woman asked him.
Perhaps your viewers or Nigerian nationals would love to hear is, even if there is gross exaggeration from external actors about the nature of who is being targeted by Boko Haram, what is their government doing to acknowledge the vulnerability that they feel after years of being victims of violence, amongst all the others, in a landscape where we keep on hearing these promises of being able to improve security and nothing is being delivered?
No, everything is being delivered.
Did you hear that? Now the woman is asking him, what is the government doing? Or even what will they do? But I want you to listen to the response. The man is saying everything has been delivered because he's the spokesperson, presidential spokesperson. He said everything has been delivered. I want you to listen. The reason I played this audio was, or whether video, but you are not seeing it, is for you to listen to the response that he is not saying anything relating to the question that the lady asked him. And immediately, the lady dismissed him because he was lying. He refused to answer the question. So let's listen before I continue.
Before 2023, we used to have prison breaks. We no longer have prison breaks. Before 2023, we had some of the local government in Nigeria taken over by the insurgents. We don't have it at the moment. Before 2023, there wasn't a case.
Meanwhile, in Borno, 18 local governments have been taken over by the terrorists. And he knows. But here he is saying that such thing does not happen again. That is why we must hit this BRGIE space and make sure the world knows what is happening. That these people are liars. You see?
Or there were no cases of the arrest of the leaders of Boko Haram and their decimation in the number that we are seeing at the moment. Before 2023, you hardly can see major cities in Nigeria where you could go about doing your business.
Then I'm going to lose you soon, but I really want, before I leave you, just to very succinctly round up why these allegations of Christian genocide in Nigeria are, according to you, utterly unfounded.
Right. And the reason is because, okay, I'll give you this context very briefly here. At the UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, Nigerian president was represented by the vice president. And in that speech, Nigeria took a position in support of a two-state solution, and we condemned the inhumane treatment in Gaza. 24 hours later, this comedian called Bill Maher started this campaign of Christian genocide.
So you think this is a result of Nigeria's position on Gaza?
Exactly.
Right. Well, I mean, I wish we had more time to unpick it.
The lie was too much, and the lady just dismissed him like that, using time. You see, the man could not answer any single question that was asked. So that was how the conversation ended. No point, nothing. Now the point here is that they are lying. They are lying. And the what is it called? Tinubu spokesperson is also lying because the head, which is Tinubu, came out immediately and lied. So now, in the face of these numbers that I made a recap, which we dealt with yesterday, in the face of the mass graves and burnt villages and orphan children, widowed women here and there, Tinubu came out and denied. In September 2025, Ahmed Tinubu, the terrorist president, through his Minister of Information, because they have another Lai Mohammed. This Minister of Information had to go to training with Lai Mohammed, and Lai Mohammed coached him on how to lie. This Minister of Information came out and, categorically declared without qualification that no religious persecution in Nigeria, that it is a lie. Let me repeat it. The man said it is a lie. That 7,000 Christians dead in 8 months is a lie. The mass graves in Benue is a lie. The burnt churches is a lie. They displaced millions of people. They are all lies. So Nigeria think they can manipulate the current US government as they did with Blinken. Because Blinken betrayed Nigerians. They think they can manipulate him. So you remember, we touched like this yesterday, but I really wanted to read from the newspaper for us to really know what happened. Because in December 2020, we saw yesterday that Donald Trump administration, during this administration, that the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, added Nigeria to the CPC list for the very first time. For the very first time. Nigeria, US that time said, Nigeria, your government is severely violating religious freedom. You understand? I've seen 2 hands up before I will go to the newspaper. Yeah, who raised up his hand? Afam, yeah, please go briefly so that we continue. Afam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning to all BIAFRANS, mostly to my beloved sisters and mothers and aunties. Big sis, I hail you. About what you're saying about their lies, first of all, I have to congratulate you ladies and encourage you not to give up about exposing the lies of Nigeria. Also, we plead with our government that please, this is our morning space where we see it as the most useful university on earth. Make them leave them for us, I beg. At least they might be giving us time of like maybe 5 hours or maybe 3 hours because we learn a lot and we expose a lot. Okay, so we don't have to back down till we completely get our nation. Then what I want to say about their lies is this. It's only the word will be telling. But anybody who does not know where they mix with us and how they operate, which one are you going to count? The president is a drug dealer. The vice president is a financer and a sponsor of Boko Haram. Nigeria, the only thing they knows how to do is to fabricate lies. The only country that snake has swallowed millions of cash. The only country that you see people who are not educated, they are taking the affair of the country. The only place where instead of their government to think of how to better the situations around, they rather bribe to make things not to be known and for them to get things worse. So anybody who hears that and you believe whatever comes from their newspaper to anybody they associate with, I don't see you as a human being, believe me. Because you don't what is that? This is a, if you come tomorrow and tell me that somebody, you see person where they cut in head, see empty head there for ground, they run for Nigeria, and we accept it. Because that is where anything can happen. Anything is, and every negativities. So tell me, this is a country where they have millions of professors, but you see what is happening. So who is, the only thing I will encourage you is that the way we are letting the world, the people to know, and with evidences, like you said, what we say here is fact. But whoever that is believing anything that comes from anybody from Nigeria, even if you go to give them interview, they will bribe you. You send Jesus, if the Jesus Christ that they are talking about comes today and go to Nigeria, they will bribe him. Believe me, that is the thing they will do. The only way they will try to listen to him is to bribe him or to complicate him or to kill him. That is it. You were saying about not bringing our leader, he's not among the list. Who is expecting that Nigeria will bring out our leader if they could go to kidnap him? Our PM used to say this. How do you expect somebody, and our leader used to say it, someone that wants to kill you, how do you expect that person to save you? I keep lamenting on this thing. The only thing that we bring our leader out is what we do. Or maybe the Americans. That is the only thing. If we are waiting for Europeans or any, it's only maybe the statement of the Americans, they will listen to it. Has UN not said anything? This Nigeria, they compromise UN. So what are you expecting from this Nigeria? It is only the thing that we do. We bring our leader out. Let us stop seeing this praying. Prayer cannot bring our leader out. It's our action. Sister, my big sis, please, I'm still waiting for that thing. I beg you, please. You know, if I no drop this thing, my body no go rest till I do that thing that I have had for it, please. I yield for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, Madam Love, are you there before I continue?
Yes, my dear, I'm here. It's just annoying to watch grown-ups looking fellow grown-ups in the face and they are lying. Well, because that's them. They grew up and they were trained to lie, and they will continue to lie. The only thing I'm saying to them is both the liars and whoever believe them, whoever they are, as long as they have 2 hands, 2 legs, and 1 head, it doesn't matter where they're located. May Nigeria happen to them. May Nigeria happen to their families. May Nigeria happen to anything they consider theirs. May Nigeria happen to them. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and in between, day and night. May Nigeria happen to all of them. We are watching. We are watching. That God, they don't know what we call faith. They don't know what we call divine healing. God is teaching them those 2 words through his servant, Mazen Namdekano. It is up to them to learn or not. They might not even learn because they have reprobate mind. But their reward is that Nigeria will happen to them. Thank you, my sister. We continue.
All right. So I'm reading from the site called persecution.org. There was a very strong controversy why Nigeria was removed as a CPC. So I'm going to read from there briefly so that we understand that it's been long, Fulani colluded for them to be, for them to remove Nigeria from the list of CPC. So I will just scan through it, because if I want to read all these things, we will end up not doing anything today. So this was a report that was written by USCIRF. I called the name yesterday. The full meaning of it, the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. The U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. So when I call that, that is what I'm talking about. So they said, since November 2021, stakeholders and citizens from both the U.S. and Nigeria have expressed concern. Now, responses have varied from outrage to approbation. Along the lines of outrage, the USCIRF titled "Outrage by Omission of Nigeria and India from State Department List of Countries of Particular Concern," meaning that India was also removed. So in that statement, you see USCIRF Chair Nuri Tokel stated that there is no justification. Did you hear that? There was no justification for the failure to recognize Nigeria as an egregious violator. Egregious, we talked yesterday, continuous killing, raping and all that, of religious freedom. And he kept on saying, he further said that, he noted that the Senate Department's own research shows example of severe violations in Nigeria. So US lawmakers speaking against the removal have communicated both confusion, did you hear that, and dismay as violence in Nigeria has continued. Representative Chris Smith, who is now the chairman of the what did they call, Human Rights Commission, let me just put it like that, of New Jersey, one of the authors of the February 2nd, 2023 resolution to Congress, said last year alone, that is 2022, he made reference to last year alone that 5,014 Christians were killed in Nigeria, accounting for nearly 90% of Christians' death worldwide, as well 90% of Christian kidnapping across the globe. Now we had another person called John Elpner, president of Christian Solidarity International, dispatch a letter to Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. In that letter, why am I reading this? Because Anthony Blinken was the one who removed Nigeria from the CPC. And what he did this against the recommendation of the experts. Who are these experts? All the watchdogs we mentioned yesterday. One of them is USCIRF. So I wanted us to read and hear it directly, that they are the ones that wrote and said that he removed Nigeria, and by, without considering the recommendation that they wrote down. So that is why I'm coming to read from the source, so that nobody will say, they heard it from BRGIE Space, this, that. It is from their side that I'm reading it now. I hope everybody have understood what I'm saying there now. So where did I stop? Yeah. So Elpner noted how this organization is updated daily on new violence. That was the letter he wrote to Anthony Blinken. The gravity of his concern is clear in the letter to Secretary Blinken. He said, the U.S. removal of Nigeria from CPC list sent a message to perpetrators and victims alike that crimes driven and legitimized by religious ideology, in particular, the various strands of Muslim supremacism remain of no particular concern to the State Department. Now, on the opposite end of the response spectrum, some Muslim, look at your people, some Muslim leaders, these are the Fulanis in Nigeria, have voiced appreciation. Follow what I'm reading, my people. Some Muslim leaders in Nigeria have voiced appreciation for the decision by the Biden administration. Sheikh Khalid, listen to their names. These are the people that, went into motion agreement on Tuesday. I'm coming to them today. I just pray God should give me time. Sheikh Khalid Abubakar Aliyu, Secretary General of Jamaatul Nasril Islam, had said that the decision deserves to be commended. You hear him? Aliyu believes Nigeria was put on the list as a result of bias and overreaction. You hear him? Religious people, according to Aliyu, the Fulani man said, religious people are supposed to be a beacon of truthfulness and uprightness. This is very important. It is not true that Christians are being targeted. It is a blatant lie. That is what the Fulani said. Unfounded and untrue. That is what the Fulani man wrote to and said it to. He said, you have to show evidence. Meanwhile, there were thousands of evidence. He said, you have to show evidence, you have to show facts and figures to prove that you are the main victims of violent conflict of Boko Haram or whatever. Muslims are the main victims. Are you understanding what I'm reading here? I need thumbs up. Let me know if you are following me. That this fight did not start today. Can you still hear me? Okay, thank you. Thank you. So this fight did not start today. Where did I stop? Where did I stop? Where did I stop? He said, much of Aliyu's statement needed to be affirmed. Religious people should be committed to truthfulness and upright. Evidence and facts ought to establish
No,
the decision.
you talked about where he said of not killing, that they are killing
Yeah,
the
I've seen
Muslims.
it. I've seen it. Thank you. I've seen it. Thank you so much. Evidence and fact ought to establish the decision regarding Nigeria's inclusion on the CPC list. My people, evidence were so numerous. He said, but a few questions persist concerning whether Muslims or Christians are the main victim. First, what perception is held among Nigerian Christians regarding violence and the need for the CPC designation? That was the question he asked. Second, what do the facts and figures suggest? Third, does it matter who suffers most? Did you hear that? Did you hear what Aliyu said? He said, does it really matter who suffers most? That was what he said. So concerning the first question, a recent study demonstrated that the first question he asked was, what perception is held among Nigerian Christians regarding violence and the need for this CPC designation? Now, concerning the first question, a recent study demonstrates that Christians in Nigeria certainly perceive they are being targeted. Of course, as Aliyu notes, this perception does not prove that persecution exists against Christians in Nigeria. However, the prevalence of this persecution is a clear indication that something is causing unrest in the Christian community. His first question has been proven wrong. Absolutely wrong. Now, in a peer-reviewed journal, we have another one called Dr. Tarela Juliet. He wrote a publication that establishes the case of religious insecurity among Christians in Nigeria. According to EK's research, Christians suffer fear and insecurity in Nigeria, resulting from a plot to undermine the Christian's identity. Hey, let's leave that one. That was just what they found from their research, again, to support what they said. Now, again, this research is not intended as a proof. That one no concern us. Let me go again. Now, the violence shapes how Christians understand themselves in Nigeria. It's like being a Christian is tantamount to victimization, according to Dr. Ike's interviewee. You know, this woman now went and interviewed people in her research. You understand? And these were the feedback Dr. Ike got from her research and from the interview she made. Then Christians were saying that once you are a Christian, it is a tantamount to victimization. They confirm it. But that is not our problem now. The second question that this man asked, persisting in response to Nigeria's disappearance from CPC lists, is, what do the facts and figures suggest regarding religious violence? The question proves to be very complex. Researchers and policymakers recognize that violence is multifaceted and not always easily categorized. Now, this provides an overview of recent violence, pointing out the vagaries and complexities in Nigeria, which makes it difficult to categorize violence. That is not what I'm looking for. And then I want to go to This man now. Wait. Okay. Fact and figures provided by the UN. Fact and figures provided by the UN shows clearly that religious violence is a problem in Nigeria. I think that time, I was not there, because this is something that UN also validated and said, yes, so that there is religious violence in Nigeria. And Dr. Ike, which they are now using her research now to back up and give a support in this research, says that Boko Haram is responsible for displacing approximately 2.4 million people in Lake Chad Basin and over 2 million people in Nigeria. Now, where is it getting more interesting? Where it is getting more interesting is that this man that is called Blinken removed Nigeria from the list of CPC without following or adhering to the recommendation from all these think tanks, from all the watchdogs. It's too much, I cannot read it. If not, we will not do any other thing today. But that is just the summary of it. That he went ahead and removed Nigeria from the list, paying deaf ears to all the reports from the watchdogs that wrote their recommendation, which is what they are supposed to do every day. Every day. So the open doors affirm what the legislators in the US have been saying. And the legislators' concern resonates with Dr. Ike's research. All the facts point to the same conclusion researched by the USCIRF. Nigeria is a country of particular concern. But what did Blinken did? He removed it. He removed Nigeria from that list because of the trade deal that they have, because of our oil. Yes, and our resources. That is what happened. Are you following what I'm reading? You see? So he removed it without listening to them. Blinken ignored them completely. Completely. He actually testified to the Congress about this decision. He said the violent attack against Nigerian Christians, he said, have nothing to do with religion. That was what this Blinken presented. You know, he was the secretary. I told you why they've given this secretary the mandate. It's one of the keys when they brought out that act by Clinton. He said that what is happening in Nigeria, the killings have nothing to do with religion. So think about it. Churches are being burned, pastors are being killed. We have seen Christian villages that are being destroyed. We have seen victims report attacks, shouting, Allah, Akbar, Allah, this, that, Allah, blah, blah, blah. And the US Secretary of State says it has nothing to do with religion. Hey, he essentially adopted the Nigerian government narrative that these are just farmer haters, conflict over land. Over land. Now, Sam Brown Mark, who was the US ambassador at large. Remember I told you yesterday, 3 keys were there to a US ambassador at large, and I've forgotten the second one. Then the third one, the mandate was given to the Secretary of State. So the ambassador at large that time, Sam Brown Mark, under Trump, was furious with this removal of Nigeria from this list. He said the sudden removal of Nigeria from CPC list is a serious blow to religious freedom in both Nigeria and across the region. Just when, I'm quoting him, just when we should be doing everything possible to stop the relentless violence that is targeting Christians and others, we do the opposite. Nobody was happy when Nigeria was removed. Nobody. The USCIRF called Blinken's decision appalling. They said keeping Nigeria off the list despite increasing violence was deeply irresponsible. Now the question is, what happened after Nigeria was removed? Did the violence stop? The answer is no. It got worse. Christians continue to be killed every day. Churches continue to be burned down. Blasphemy laws continue to be enforced even against Christians. And security forces continue to arrive late or not at all We have seen that. We have seen a Zamfara state governor complain. We have seen Borno state governor complain. They don't come, they don't respond because they have to wait and get authority from Abuja. Because according to Nigerian government, claims of Nigerian persecution are, they call it a gross misrepresentation of reality. All these are there. I'm reading from there. Because the reality they insist is that Nigerians respect religious freedom and all citizens are equal before the law. You see? But is that really the case? The answer is no. They insist Christians are not being specifically targeted, that any claim to the contrary are propaganda or is just exaggeration. You see? That is what the Nigerian terrorist government, the narrative that they have passed out there. They describe religious motivated violence as farmer herders clash over land. They are clashing over land, they are clashing over water resources, as if they've ever given us water before. They will now say it is driven by climate change. They claim that all religious groups suffer equally from violence, ignoring the data that is showing Christians are mostly victimized. They ignore it. They accuse international observers. They accuse even human rights organizations, even Nigerian bishop of having political motivation. Once you speak the truth, they will tell you you are agent of foreign powers. We heard it from that video I just played before I said I should, take over this. But when US Senator Ted Cruz and every other American lawmakers, when they raised concern about this systematic killing of Christians in this October, Nigeria ambassador to the United States, you know what he said? Yaga Idris was dismissive and almost contemptuous. The bishop position is an extreme one. It is not true. He denounced that it is not true. They debunk, in that man's speech, they debunk it. How can you debunk mass graves that international forensic team have documented? How? How do you misrepresent the entire village that no longer exists? Evidence are there. Eh? These people are very, very wicked and they call it a lie. When evidence are filled everywhere, how does a government deny a genocide that the whole world can see? Who taught Nigeria how to lie? Eh? Because Senator Cruz this bill will force the Senate Department to do what it should have done all along, hold Nigeria accountable. That is why Nigeria is panicking. Because under Biden, they got away with it. But under Trump administration, hey, with this Congress that is pushing, they will not be able. And that is why Akpabio said, nobody will win. Nobody will win this case. Akpabio openly confessed that nobody will win. So, now, I want to look at the 3 Ds. The 3 Ds. I don't know if anybody wants to say something about what happened in the past before I go to the 3 Ds. Okay. Now, under the 3 Ds, I'm going to start from the one I term denial. Yes, I want to use the one denial first because that is where it starts from. Okay? So we saw Senator Mohammed Ali of Borno South. He sponsored a motion titled Urgent Need for Correct Misconception regarding the purported Christian genocide narrative in Nigeria and international communities. He did that. Senator Mohammed Ali, have you noticed the language that she used? He said misconception, purported. They are not even denying Christians are being killed, though. They are just claiming it is being what? Purported. Look at those that sponsored that motion, my people. We saw Senator Sani Musa, Niger East. We saw Senator Wamako, Sokoto North. We saw Senator Ibrahim Bomai, Yobe South. We saw Senator Ahmed Aliyu. Hey, remember Aliyu before? That fought from the very first day that Blinken was here that Nigeria should not be removed. They should return Nigeria. Nasarawa West. And others that were there. These are all Fulanis. And all these states that I'm mentioning are part of the 12 states that has legalized Sharia law. We mentioned this yesterday. They have something in common. They are all from the Muslim majority state that is supporting Sharia law. They are all from the state where Fulani people dominate politically. They are all part of the power structure that benefit from this status quo. So how do you think? Meanwhile, our people that is supposed to get up and counter them are muted. They don't talk. They don't say anything. What is the motion claiming? What does it claim? The motion that they brought up acknowledged that Christian communities have suffered strategic and unaccepted attack. But then, look at what they insist, that violence in Nigeria has affected citizens of all faith, including Muslim. Did you see how they arrange it? So this is, I will call it, this is like a deflection. Yes, we know that Muslims have also been killed. But can you compare what statistic do you have to show? Does it correlate the statistics that have been killed, Muslims that have been killed, and the one of Christians? It's not possible. Christians have the highest number. The motion claimed that the nation's security challenges are rooted, I'm reading from them, in a mixed socio-economic, ethnic, criminal, and terrorist factors that transcend religion. This is a fat lie. Because when attackers specifically target Christian villages and they spare Muslim villages, they burn churches and they shout Allah, blah, 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 whatever they're shouting when they are killing. Religion is the factor here. I don't know if I'm making mistake, but what I see is religion attack. Because when 90% worldwide Christian death occurs in Nigeria, that is a religion now. Religion killing. Religion is a factor. And the motion warns, I'm reading their motion, mischaracterizing the ongoing security crisis in purely religious terms, risk inflaming sectarian divisions. I'm reading from their motions. So if you call this what it is, religious persecution, you might upset the Muslim who are committing the persecution. That's what it means. You see, that is what they are saying there. And the motion demands that the federal government should release verified casualty figures. Do they have data? They don't have. So what are they going to release? Nothing. The motion also demands that religious leaders and media exercise restraint. How? It means stop reporting the truth. Shut up your mouth. Don't say anything. Stop calling it genocide, which is what the Khan president did. I'm coming to Khan president. Stop making us look bad internationally. That is not who we are. Imagine what the motion is demanding. The third thing the motion demands is that foreign embassies and media rely on verified and balanced sources. They want only trust what the Nigerian government tells you. Don't believe what the survivor says. Don't believe what eyewitnesses say. Don't even believe what independent investigators say. That is what the motion demands. The fourth thing that the motion demands is to engage with US Congress. Now, every other thing here is what will be carried out inside their terrorist country called Nigeria. So the fourth one, which Akpabio came out and said, oh, we have to form a caucus that will go and educate. Imagine those that wants to go and educate US Congress persons. Imagine. Educate them. That some people went and gave one-sided information. He said, the fourth one said, engage with US Congress. The Senate mandates its committees to engage with US lawmakers through official briefing and fact-based publication to correct misconceptions. What misconception? I wish them good luck. I wish them good luck. That the US lawmakers have access to some evidence we do. They are not going to be fooled by Nigerian government propaganda. It is not possible. Fulani have connection in what is happening. And you can see that they don't have brain. The perpetrators of most attack on Christians are Fulani militias. That is, those are the people. And that man, Tinubu spokesperson, was dodging to mention the name Fulani because why? Yoruba has gone into alliance with Fulanis. So Yorubas are protecting Fulanis, and we say, congratulations on the way Fulani is killing you people. Yes. So he was afraid to acknowledge that it is Fulani, because in that map in the video, the woman brought out the area that Fulanis are killing people. But the man refused to, make reference to that. Because the Nigerian government is dominated by Fulani people. And Tinubu is also depending on the North Fulani support. That is what is happening. So senators deny Nigerian persecution are predominantly from a Fulani dominated state. That is what they are denying. And the government also refused to protect Christians. So it coincides with the Fulani militias attack. That is what is happening. And that is why the senators are so desperate. They are so desperate. So what is revealing about this Senate motion is they are desperate. The Nigerian Senate does not typically move this quickly or on anything before. They are always very slow. But what's happened to this one? They are jumping up. Hey, they want to form committee. Hey, they've done motion and there are demands from the motion. Within days of Congressman Mo that has written letter calling for their designation, everybody is jumping up. Kitty, 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 kitty. Why are they jumping? But I want to tell them that this motion will fail. It will fail woefully. It will fail. The motion will fail to convince anyone because, the evidence is overwhelming. More than 52,000 Christians have been killed since 2009. My people, you heard the letter I was reading. This battle did not start today. The perpetrators are identifiable because survivors have identified the Fulani militias. They have identified the pattern because the pattern shows attack originated from the Fulani area. And the Senate cannot erase this evidence. They have made series of videos. They cannot erase it. International community is united very tight. Because when the US Congress, the Vatican, we've seen the International Human Rights Organization, we've seen all the watchdogs, they all reach the same conclusion that Nigerian government denials are worthless and they must be designated. CAN itself admitted the truth that even Christian Association, they admitted it. After denial, I will come to CAN because that is what is really paining me. This CAN. Oh, goodness me. That is what is paining me. CAN. Did you remember what CAN said? Did you remember what CAN said about the killings of Christians? I don't know if you are still listening to me, if you can hear me. Hello? Oh
Yeah,
my
we are
God.
hearing you.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to say before I continue?
Continue.
Okay. So I was focusing on the what is it called? On the the motion that they raised, that it is going to fail woefully. They will never succeed. They will never succeed because the evidence is just too much. Now, if I go to the second D, I call the second D downplay. And downplay, I pictured it as it is not as bad as it looks. Yeah, I just put this word together. Don't it's not under research. It's just I just imagine and said, truly, this is what these people are doing. Yeah. So, when the denial is too much, they'll not say, or when they don't even succeed in denying, in the denial part, they'll not say, okay, let us just pretend that it is not as bad as it looks. Let us tell them something is happening, but it's not as bad as they say. Also, it's very complicated, but you will not understand. You know how Nigerian talks now. So this is Nigeria's favorite trick right now that they are using. Let's listen to what the government said. He said, "These attacks are not about religion. Here are my people. They are farmers, herders, clashes over land and water. And I'm asking, which water? Eh? As the Sahara Desert expands, listen, as the Sahara Desert expands south due to climate change, nomadic herders are forced, listen to the excuse that they're giving, forced to move into farming areas. Their cattle eat crops, farmers retaliate, both sides suffer. So it's about economic competition for resources, not religious persecution. That is what Nigerian government responded. If you look at it, it sounds very reasonable, you know, and very complicated. They now brought in climate change in their response. They now talk about economic, both sides are suffering. Did you hear that? From what I read from their response, I extracted this one. I said, really? But here is why this is a lie. Now, if this is really about farmers and herders over land, why are the victims overwhelming Christians? Is the question I'm asking them. Why are the victims Christians? Why? Nigeria has Muslim farmers too. They're in the same region, facing the same climate change, competing for the same resources. Why is it that Muslim farmers communities, why are they not being attacked at the similar rates that they're attacking Christians? Huh? Because it is about religion, not cattle. That is what it is all about. So then I have another question for them. I was just thinking, say, if this is about cattle eating crops, why are churches now specifically targeted? Because in attack after attack, we have seen churches that have been burnt down to the ground. We have seen mosques in the same area that have left untouched. We have seen pastors that are specifically hunted and killed and beheaded. We have seen Christian symbols that are desecrated. So if your header are angry about their cattle being blocked from grazing, why would you burn a church? Why would you kill a pastor? Because churches don't eat crops, pastors don't own cattle. The answer still remains because it is about eliminating Christian presence. And I have question 3 for them. Okay, why do attackers shout Islamic war cries? Allah Akbar. Because survivors after survivors, village after village, even victims, after shouting that, what is the next thing? They begin to quote their Quranic verses. And then the attacker specifically will be asking, are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? I'm getting reports from those that survive. This is what they tell them. And then attackers will be telling Christian women, they are now property of Islam. We have seen it. We have seen it. So if it is about land dispute, why the religious language here? Why are they speaking their religious language? Why the Islamic declaration? Because this is religious warfare. I have another question for them. How does the farmer header narrative explain the Yalweta massacre? Victims, over 200 people that were displayed. We already know the story. So how does farmer header conflict explain this one, Bikono? Because it cannot. The narrative collapses completely. The both side argument, another downplaying tactics. Muslims are dying too. Why are you only focusing on Christians? And listen carefully to how I respond to this. I say, yes, so because I reply one of them in Twitter, I say, yes, Muslims die in Nigeria. I know. Boko Haram kill Muslim, I know. Bandits kill Muslim, I know. Criminal violence affect everyone. We know. This is terrible. We should condemn all violence. But if you look at the statistics, I told the person like that in the Twitter. I told them, this is the critical where the difference is between being a victim of violence and being a targeted for your identity. There are two different things. Being targeted for your identity. Because when a Muslim dies in a bandit attack, is it because he's a Muslim or because he's in the wrong place? When a Christian dies, is there a pattern of targeting churches? Is there a pattern of Christian leaders and Christian villages being attacked? That is the question we should be asking. So the question is not who suffers. The question is who is being systematically targeted by state-enabled violence. That is the question that we should be asking these people. Because saying Muslim die too does not change the fact that Christians are being specifically persecuted for their faith. You understand? They should face the reality. Our people should wake up and speak. Our people should wake up and speak. Because when Senator Cruz said 52,000 Christians killed since 2001, Nigeria says those numbers are exaggerated. But notice that Nigeria never provided their own numbers. So even when they said in their motion, hey, we need the numbers, they can't have the numbers. They cannot present it because they don't have the data. Why? Because Christians have been killed. So for them, it is a norm. It has become a norm. Let them kill them. No problem. Let them kill them. If I go to the last 3D, it says divert. I term that one divert. Okay, let's change the topic. Let's change the topic. Because this one will expose, because once you see it, you can't unsee it again. It is called diversion. Let's change the topic. Because when you can't deny it and you can't downplay it, just change the topic. You know, let us not talk about it. This is the main thing Nigeria is using right now. I'm going to read it for you to hear. Look at this US bill is an attack on Christian or Nigerian sovereignty. America has no right to interfere in our internal affairs. This is a neo-colonialism. We are an independent nation. This came from one of the senators. And I have a question for them. If your neighbor is beating your children to death and you call the police, is that interfering in his family life? Or is that protecting children? And I gave myself answer that it is protecting children. That is why we have international human rights standard, because after World War II, after the Holocaust, the world said never again. We had a program on this 2 months ago. We will create rules to prevent genocide and mass atrocities. So this rule applies to everyone, everywhere, no matter who you are. So sovereignty is not a permission slip to kill your citizens because you are a sovereign nation. As this senator say, this US bill is an attack on Nigerian sovereignty. So because you are a sovereign nation, so you feel you have the permission slip to kill your own citizen? It is unacceptable. Sovereignty means you have the right to govern yourself. It does not mean you have the right to massacre your people. That's it. That is what it means. So Nigeria also says, if you pass this bill, it will damage US-Nigeria relation. We are important partners. Is that what you want? That is the question that they asked. So senators still raise up this. So now, it means give us money. Give us military aid. Give us diplomatic support. But don't mention the dead bodies. That is what they are telling US now. Give us the money, and give us the military aid and then support us. You know, they have already blocked all this once they sanction them. But don't mention the dead bodies. That is the meaning of what they're saying here. If you pass this bill, it will damage US-Nigeria relation. Meanwhile, the resources is ours. My people, there is no time. I wanted us to go in this place and look at the document, the alliance that our government had with the US. There is an alliance for US to know that the resources that Nigeria is boasting about now comes from our own land. There is no time to go and open. Internet is very slow. There is no time to go and open in case we have forgotten. And we also want to tell Nigeria, say, shame unto you, the resources that you are bragging about, the relationship you have in Nigeria and with the US, the resources belongs to us. So it is now time for them to turn their satellites and come and have alliance with us. Yes. And they also say another thing. The US is using Christian genocide claim as an excuse to interfere in Nigeria for economic or geopolitical reason. This is about oil. This is about containing China. This is American imperialism. Can you imagine? These people have said, I had to take time to extract one by one what they were saying. You know, and then they now turn the perpetrator into victim. That is what they are doing. And then they now made another statement, say, we are not killing Christians, though. We are being attacked by Western powers who wants to destroy Nigeria. Is there anything called Nigeria in the first place? If the US wanted to interfere in Nigeria for oil, they could find million easier ways than this bill. They could back up a coup. You understand? They could form opposition parties. They could even impose economic sanction. So it is not about that. They are introducing a bill that says, stop killing Christians, or we will sanction officials responsible for it. This is the basic human right enforcement, not exchanging a business with the lives of Christians in Nigeria. You understand? This is where Nigeria have failed completely to understand what is happening. I don't know, can you still hear me? Because my internet is a showing sign here. Okay, thank you, ma. So, I have a question, and I don't know if all of us have the same question. Who is killing Christians? Please, do you have anything to say before I continue? Okay.
Toti, you see, hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay. You see, Nigeria brain walk backwards. They are thinking once you are a sovereign nation, you can do what you want. But they don't remember what they're doing affects other people. Now, those people who will be affected by your actions has a right to intervene because they are going to be adversely affected. Nigeria don't realize that what they're doing is affecting people outside. They chase their citizens outside, they become liability to other nations. And not only that, they squander their money, share their money amongst themselves, then they go and borrow from those people they say don't interfere. They don't have common sense. Anyway, what can I say? If they can stay in the Senate chamber and debate the right of cow instead of right of human beings, what would anybody expect from cow country? You know. So what they are panicking at, Babio said it, that if this sanction goes through, it's going to hurt them. It's going to make them poor because they are not going to be getting the money they're getting to blow their head and their stomach. But whatever they are fearing is what will consume them because they worked for it over the years. It is their desire. It is their law. So they cannot escape it. They can do what they want. Ha, 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 ha. And then what? It doesn't stop the train from running. Nigeria, especially those planted people claiming to be lawmakers in Biafra land, they will pay. They did the crime, they will do the time. The train have left station. All I'm asking my fellow citizens is defend yourself. That's all to it. We move on. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you, Minister Love. You have shown us love today. Please, my people, share this space. Share this space. We don't have much time. Yeah, please share the space. Okay, before I continue, Reg and Fury, please briefly go to, say what you want to say from what I have been reading. Then after that, senior citizen, and then Solomon. Reg, are you there? Reg, are you there? Can you hear me, Reg? Shuhada, you are pointing down. I don't understand your pointing down. Unmute yourself.
But he has to unmute himself.
Maybe he's
Unmute yourself, friend.
disponible to available to speak now.
Okay. Oh
Can I
yeah,
take
Mark.
it up
Yeah,
from here?
senior citizen. Go ahead. Yeah. Take it
Yeah,
up front.
yeah. Let me take it up from here. I wanted to answer your question. Can you ask your question again to make sure this is what I had?
No, I didn't ask any question. I was saying, do you have anything to contribute before I move to talk about this can and then
So you've
those that
also
are killing
forgotten your
us?
question. You've also forgotten your question because I think you were saying was anybody who is killing Nigerians or something like that, or who is killing Christians?
Yeah,
And that
I wanted to talk about can first before I go to who is killing Christians.
because I heard you ask the question, so I said, okay, let me answer because I know the answer. The people that
This
are
one,
killing Christians.
this one will lead me to that one. Because if I don't finish with can, it will connect to who is killing us that these people are denying. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want?
I don't really want to.
Yeah, because yeah. I wanted to answer your question because I heard you ask that. So the
Okay,
people
then
that
you
are
can.
killing.
Okay, okay. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and go ahead and tell us who is killing a Christian. Yeah, at least that should be your own contribution. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you. So the people that are killing Christians in Nigeria and in Biafra land are the Islamic terrorist Fulani Nigeria government, and so they are using their agents. Sometimes they do it direct, where you now see Nigeria Boko Haram military killing Christians. This one have each state they use another system just to confuse the citizens and Biafrans. But we understand the way they roll. So when you see the people that are killing Christians in Biafra land are Nigeria Boko Haram military. Why do I put Boko Haram Nigeria military? Because the chief of defense staff, Christopher Musa, told us that Boko Haram, that is supposed to be number one deadliest group, terrorist group, that massacre people, have repented, according to Christopher Musa, and he will now enroll them back to Nigerian military, and enrolling them back to Nigerian military, they become Boko Haram Nigerian military. So Musa is using Boko Haram Nigerian military to kill Christians in Biafra land. Meanwhile, in Nigeria and the northern and the eastern part, southern parts, they are using the so-called Boko Haram foot soldiers. They are also using they are using what do you call them? Fulani herdsmen. These ones are the ones that will move into people's farms and destroy their crops with AK-47. And you champ, they gun you down. They also have different branch. They also have this type they call a bubago in Biafra land. It's still Nigeria government killing Christians. These Ebubago are working directly with the governors in Biafra land via Nigeria government, and they will kill Biafrans, kill Christians. And the fact they will even tell you, I will kill you or shoot you and nothing will happen. So they kill them. Sometimes also see them in the form of Udogachi and AVG or special forces. All these groups are terrorist Islamic group that are killing Christians. So these are the people that are killing Christians so far. Thank you.
Wow, you have relieved me from that side. Yes, so these are the people killing us. These are the people killing Christians, and they have the same pattern across all this group. Fulani militants, we have Boko Haram, ISWAP, terrorist bandits. They have the same pattern. They are the ones killing Christians. You see? And they will shout, first of all, they will shout this, Allah Kubaka, they will chant this, prayer. I don't know if I call that prayer or whatever. And after that, if they're attacking churches, we will see them. Church will be their, target. While Muslim in this, a mosque in the same community will be untouched. Just of recent, we've seen they are going about destroying old mosques that you can't, people don't even go there to pray again. And they say, hey, mosque is attacked. It's only people that don't understand Nigeria that will believe. We have seen the same pattern. They have the same pattern. They kill Christian leaders. They are the ones that they are hunting. They kill pastors. They behead priests, even elders, deacons. So far as you are leading in the church, they will kill you. And they always ask religious questions. Are you a Christian or Muslim? Any wrong answer, bakam, you are gone. And they will force you to convert and become a Muslim, or you die. We've seen so many videos about that. You see? So they have the same pattern. Thank you, senior citizen, for relieving me in that section. Yeah, Solomon, do you want to, or should I continue what I wanted to do with Khan?
Yes, I want to say something before I continue.
Okay.
Am I coming now? Okay.
Yeah.
What I have to say in order to support and what you are saying is that that was what Ded Buhari said and at the beginning, maybe 2015 or 2016. He said that instead of part of people to be free from all their manipulation, part of any region, any people, group of people that want to be free. In short, instead of them to be free from all their evil, in short, let the entity Nigeria be drawn into water. So and now that import they imported that they want to be drawn in the water have come to for them to be swallowed by water now. So now any person that's in the midst of the ocean, in the midst of the water, and is about to be drawn, use anything to make to save himself. I use anything, even if it's still human being that wanted to, it can even now the person, all of them will sink like a stone inside the water. So what I'm actually saying is that they are just bringing irrelevant excuse just to confuse has seen the fact and figure, because judgment is facts and figure they used to judge something. So people, the thing they are hiding over the years, then our government have exposed it because we remain the truth people. I can't say we destroy Nigeria with the truth, and the same thing our PM and the same thing our APM. We still using the truth to fight them. And at the process, the truth now is hurting them because our people that want to help us have confirmed the truth we are saying all over the years. So anything they are saying, we have question. If they are not targeting on Christians, then why is Leah Shaib is lost and in their midst of evil? They perpetrated against Christians. They caught I think 105 children, two school children, and then they free Muslims and they free those that say out of fear that say they will join Muslim. They free them. Then Bolia Shaibu, nobody free her, and Nigeria pay big amount of money to the terrorists those days. And now how many years now? So the Ashaibu still there under their net because he say he remained a Christian and they cannot deny his Lord and Savior. So that's the why he's still there in that net. And Nigeria as entity did not do anything. Nigeria know where they go and negotiate with those people to release those they release. They not go and arrest any person. Since then, they never arrest any terrorist. In spite of that, instead of that, they just bring in more. Every day they will form another type of terrorists so that they will use them. They have many plans at hand. If this one did not work, this one will work. So that is why I am supporting what you are saying by asking question: why is Ria Shaib, which offense he committed that warranting to remain in the hands of the terrorists, hands of Boko Haram, hands of Fulani herdsmen, And those people they call bandits, they are not bandits, they are not stealing anything other than to kill. They are terrorists, but they minimize their name so that they will not call them terrorists, they call them bandits. So all these people, I think, America now is holding them at their broad. That's why they are, doing all sorts of things to lie that they are not targeting Christians. If they are not targeting Christians, why do they kill county chairman? Why do they kill many pastors? Why do they burn more than something or to something thousand churches? Why are they going to Benue? Why are they focusing on Southern Kaduna that is populated with Christians? Have you ever heard about Northern Kaduna? Violent. Now only Southern Kaduna. Then where they will go and eliminate Christians so that they will remain minority. I'm sure they will eliminate them from the earth. Then why are they going to Benue that's populated with Christians? Why are they going to Igbo land? Even in spite of the fact that they have seen that they are finishing terrorists and Fulani herdsmen are finishing, or Fulani terrorists are finishing Benue State. They still go to, they still leave them. No security. They're going to call police, call army, call all uniform men. None of them will come. Even when boys will come up to defend, to begin to fight the enemy that invade into their village. Then the same army will come, begin to arrest, begin to kill boys and scare boys away. Then the enemy will come and destroy the village. And now they find out that the backbone of the Christians in Nigeria, that all Igbos are Christians and Judaism. They have born, even when we kill Christians, kill Biafrans, a bomb churches, a bomb synagogue, all the bomb synagogue. So the target on the people of God, those of the Christians and Judaism. Even that they are not writing it on the face that they are Christians. They not write it. So the Muslims they are killing is those that they thought they are Christians. That is, or anyone that did not support them. That say this killing not too much, they will know say that this is not their blood. They kill the person. Then it will be as if they are killing Muslims. They are not killing any Muslims. They are killing Christians. Target is Christians. Tactical way of killing na Christians. Everything they are doing is Christians. I know international communities are hearing me now. Any person that is on the space now, or that will come to the space after when we post it, after when we record and post, we come and know that this thing we are saying is facts and figures that they will hold to nail them. Now it's time for them to be crucified for all the atrocities since 19 immemorial, or since 1999 till now, which they are hiding. And as a result, they have bought the people, the news agents. They bought them, conditioned them as a bad way that condition crayfish to bend. That's how they condition them, that they cannot talk. Even the conditioned Christians, that they hate the leaders of church. Because of the fear of death, none of them can talk again. Even they can even collect money and eat. Because now the one where somebody eat, now a carry for body. They will eat the money and begin to support them with the fear. And when they go back, they will begin to defend what they said in another way. So both can they are using now money they collect. The churches that remain calm. They systematically, indirectly give them money. Yes, it's swear. So this. It's okay, you can go on now. I'll help you.
Thank you so much for your submission. Let's see how we can manage this time. Yeah, Reg and Fury, should I continue or you want to give your own submission briefly before I continue?
Yes, I just want to give my own submission briefly, please. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me also
Okay.
restart.
Thank you very much, our beloved mother, our auntie and sister tutors. As a matter of fact, you are getting better every day with your analysis. You know, you are asking certain questions that if your child is being beaten and you went to call the police, and the answer you gave to that question was so deep. You understand? Thank you very much for, in fact, having you in this movement is a big plus to us, Biafrans, and we don't take anything for granted. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody that is working so hard to see that our freedom comes. Greetings to you, Biafrans. Greetings to all our leaders, to all the defenders of our land, Biafra Defense Forces. Greetings to all the financial donors, to all the honorable cabinet ministers of the Biafra Republic government in exile, as well as the federal government in homeland. I sincerely greet you. I bring you greeting from the Isoko state of Biafra. As a matter of fact, when it comes to the issue of Nigeria, somehow, the people that I want to blame is those people that organize Olympic. All these Olympic organizers and them I blame, you understand? Because if to say they can just introduce lying into Olympic, every Olympic game, Nigeria can win up to 50 gold medal from lying alone, you understand? So as a matter, I blame them. Denying that the evidences that are everywhere, they are saying that it's said that farmers clash. He said that farmer clash, they went to go and clash in our massacre in Ondo. So they went to our church. They massacred all the worshippers. Now they are melu. Is it their cow, their cattle that they brought to eat? Are there grasses inside the church or water to drink inside the church that they came to massacre all the worshippers in our massacre? Our massacre, that is a very popular one. Let's not even talk about other churches that they have gone to do their massacre. You understand? So the only person that will take anything that Nigerian government is saying seriously is somebody that is very new, somebody that is not even on the social media or on the news, you understand, that doesn't really listen to this. Those are the people that will take Nigeria seriously. Nigeria that is up to today, hardcore criminals that go all over the place, massacre Christians, massacre babies, women and children, sack full community, enter military barrack, they kill the genuine military men, the sincere military men that are there, the Christians military men, and they exchange their armory. Nigeria refers to them as bandits, just to cover up, hide the identity of these hardened criminals that are killing innocent civilians, Christians, and every other religion, just to cover their identity. So, according to the question, who are killing Christians? Who are killing the civilian populace? They are simply terrorists. And these terrorists, they are in different positions. Some are in the government, who happen to be in Asoro, in government houses, in different locations where they are. Some are in the military, some are in the police, some are in the media. This is why you see all of them. They know that these are hardy criminals that are killing people, but they cannot address them with their true identity. Rather, they will hide their identity and call them bandits. You understand? So when did you see Rufai Husseini address them as terrorists? When did you see the man with obesity in TVC, Jide, address them as terrorists? When did you see Robert Epses Abati address them as terrorists? When did you see Sheung address them as terrorists? When did you see the Chief of Defense Staff, Musa, address them as terrorists? When did you see Akpabio address them as terrorists? When did you see Sheriff, that is the current Delta State governor now, address them as terrorists? When did you see Okowa, Goodluck Jonathan address them as terrorists? You understand? So you can see that these terrorists that are killing Christians, killing innocent civilians, babies, women, and children, they are in different positions. Some of them are in government, some of them are in the military, some of them are in the police, some of them, they are just the foot soldiers. You understand? Because when the terrorists, especially in the Biafra region, when they used to come as Fulani terrorists wearing ragtag, they were being dealt with ESN. But when they see the heat, what happened? The government had to rebrand by recruiting them into different new terrorist group called Eboba, by recruiting them into a new terrorist group called Dogachi, by recruiting them into a new terrorist group called Agune Chamber. Different name. Asari Dokubo group of terrorists, they are also there. Different terrorist groups. So they just rebranded because the real terrorists that used to come in rucksack have been backed by the government of Nigeria. No matter where they are found, whether in the Biafra region, whether in the Bar region, whether in the you understand, they were being backed by these people. So, but now that they see that if these people keep coming in rucksack, they will be eliminated. They have to recruit them into the government security architecture, in the military, in the police, in DSS, in different category of their security architecture. So they give them uniform, give them weapons to come and continue their massacre. You understand? So who are killing the Christians? Who are killing the innocent civilians, the indigenous people? It is the terrorists backed by the Nigerian government that is led by the EFIK-IBIBIO terrorist organization as recognized by the Canadian court. Thank you very much. I yield my mic here. So if people that will tell you that will address terrorists as bandits just to hide their identity for you, what truth do you expect from such people? How would you expect them to say that it is the terrorists that are killing Christians, that the war is declared to exterminate Christians, if they cannot tell you the true identity of these people? So it is only somebody that is not really serious in life that will take whatever Nigeria says seriously. Thank you very much. I yield the mic here, my beloved auntie tutors.
Thank you so much, Reja Fure, for your submission. Thank you for your input. That was great. Yeah, so hold on, you've not even said anything. Let me just finish this one, then I'll pass the mic to you. We are managing time. We just have 45 minutes more because this can made me, would I say, anyway, let me not say I regret being a Christian, because what they did, I'm not sure I can forgive them. For those of you that are listening to us that you are not Biafrans, what we mean by CAN is a Christian Association of Nigeria, and it's supposed to be the umbrella organization representing all the Christian denominations.
Don't be offended. Can you hear me? Please don't be offended, my sister. Don't be offended at all. One of the branches of these terrorists are the Christians leaders. Some of the Christians leaders are some of the branches of the terrorists that are compromised. It is all about their interest, not the safety of Christians, not the safety of the worshippers. I'm so sorry for interjecting with that, please. That is just all I just want to chip in. Thank you very much.
Okay. Where did I stop, sir? So they are supposed to be like an umbrella organization that represent all the Christian denomination in Nigeria. You know, in Nigeria, we have so many churches. We have the Catholic Church, Anglican, Methodist, even the one that does not have names, even the ones that people have used their living room. They are all churches, Pentecostal, Gbogbo Tigbo. Every one of these church has to be under the umbrella of CAN. And the CAN stated mission is to be the voice of Christians in Nigeria. They are supposed to advocate for Christian interests and to protect Christian communities. Because with over 80 million, approximately, we have over 80 million Christians in Nigeria. CAN should be one of the most, powerful religious organization in Africa. Because if it is resources, it has it. It has access to government officials. It has access to even international connections. And we have seen for years that CAN have failed. When I say, is there anything outside that I can add to quantify what is called failure? They have failed, Nigerian Christians. They have failed. And I forgot to mention them when I was talking about denial. Because when you go back to 2025 this year, March 2025, while the US congressman Chris Smith was holding hearing on Christian persecution in Nigeria. You know, with a Bishop Wilfred, which is the Bishop of Makurdi Diocese. You know, while he was testifying about the massacre, and international organizations were busy documenting this systematic killing, which is one of the evidence that the Ted Cruz and other Congress persons are using. What was Khan doing? Khan was silent. Khan pretend everything was going on well in Nigeria. You see, not just being silent, I said they are complicit in the Nigerian government denial campaign. I don't know why I forgot to bring them in. On March 14, 2025, Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement rejecting reports of targeted killings of Christians. And the government officials position was that violence in Nigeria is patternless and that it affects all communities equally. This was a blatant lie. And Khan, which had all the evidence of targeted attack against Christians, said nothing to contradict this lie. In fact, it was even Khan that made this statement that it was patternless. You see, the Khan that we know, Christian Association of Nigeria, the body supposedly representing 80 million of Christians, they have been remaining silent, while the government keeps on denying that Christians are not being murdered. Why are they silent? I was asking myself, why are these people silent? They are silent because of politics of fear and compromise. There is nothing anybody can tell me. Because Khan leadership, they live in Nigeria. They depend on Nigeria permit for church activities. Even their bank accounts are in Nigerian bank. Their movements are monitored by Nigerian security services. Even their families, they live in Nigeria. The Archbishop, which is his president, Daniel Oko, is based in Abuja, which is the seat of the federal power, we all know. And he's the one rubbing shoulders with government officials, attending all state functions, because they must call him just to show a picture that, oh, Christians have been invited. You see? And the established does not want to admit that Nigeria is committing genocide against Christians. So Khan made a clear choice for us a few days ago, that he prefers political survival over prophetic witness. Khan choose to protect its institution interest, which is a terrorist government, than protecting Christian lives. Khan choose to maintain good relation with the government rather than tell the world the truth. That is what Khan did, and we are so disappointed in Khan. But as week went on, day after day, what happened to the denier? Something happened that Khan did not expect. They did not expect this. The international community refused to look away. We saw Senator Ted Cruz that introduced this bill in September. We saw Congressman Rowe that wrote his own letter in this October. We saw these are foreigners now coming out. They are the ones now coming out. International media, they began to cover all these stories. And then suddenly, Khan's silence became impossible to maintain. And the discrepancies between what the international community was saying, that Christians are being murdered in Nigeria, and what Khan was saying, became too obvious. The difference was 7-up. And Khan now realized that it was losing its credibility. Yes, not just internationally, but within even its own members, including me, because I'm a Christian. Nigerian Christians were asking, why can't Khan speak up for us? Khan had the mind, Khan had the guts to deny us. Hey, in the midst of Christians that were bleeding, Khan had the mind to disown Christians. Khan had the mind to abandon Christians. And then on October 8th, there was this forced admission. After months of denial, after months of international pressure, after Senate Cruz bill, after Congressman Moores wrote his own letter, and it now came out, Christian genocide. Khan clarifies petition. I saw it in the news headline. I said, really? And if you go back and look at that title, that Khan did not say, Khan tells the truth. You know me, I love taking time to read. Excuse me. He did not say Khan tells the truth or Khan stands with persecuted Christians. Go back and read it. No. Khan said it was clarifying its position. Go back and read it. As if there had been some misunderstanding. You know, as if Khan has been speaking clearly all along and people just didn't understand. You understand? Let me read from the excerpt from Khan on October 8th because I had to bring it out. He said, Khan affirms without hesitation that many Christian communities in parts of Nigeria, especially in the north, have suffered severe attack, loss of life, and the destruction of place of worship. Did you hear what he wrote there? Okay, fine. Christians are being killed. We admit it now, but we have no choice. That is what it means there. That is the translation I'm seeing there. Okay, Christians have been killed. We admit it because we have no choice in admitting it. Because if you look at the phrase, he said, without hesitation. Without, he said, Khan affirms without hesitation. That is gaslighting if you look at it very well. Because Khan hesitated for many years. Khan remained silent for months, even as the international outcry grew every day. Now Khan wants to pretend it never hesitated. Who is Khan fooling? And he went again and said, these realities are painful reminders of the urgent need for government and security agencies to act decisively to protect every citizen regardless of religion. And for me, I don't know what that means to you. For me, it means that we are going to gently suggest that maybe the government should do something. But we won't blame the government directly. And we certainly won't call for sanction or international intervention. Because if you notice how carefully his wordings have been selected, Khan doesn't say the Nigerian government has failed Christian. Mbano. Khan does from say he was selecting his word. He did not say the Nigerian government is complicit. No. Only the senators call the spade a spade. Can't just say, oh, there is an urgent need for action. As if the problem is just that nobody has gotten around to protection Christians, rather than the government deliberately refusing to protect Christians. And I copy this one again from the statement. He said, the association has established mechanism for recording incidents of religious motivated killings, engaged with international partners, written to the International Criminal Court in the Hague, and hosted global Christian organizations such as the World Evangelical Alliance and the Lucent Movement. In my mind, I was like, look at all the things we have been doing behind the scene. We are not completely useless. Because this paragraph is, Khan attempts to claim, he's claiming credit. That is what Khan is doing. Notice what he did not say. Khan did not say, oh, when they wrote to the ICC, or what response they got. No, he did not say like that. Khan did not say that their mechanism for recording incidents have produced. Khan did not say that what concrete actions resulted from hosting international organizations. Nothing like that. So it's all vague. Vague. All about protecting Khan's reputation. All vague and defensive. And Khan went on to say, our concern remains that these cries for justice and protection are too often met with delay or denial. Oh my God. When I saw this, I was, yes, so there is a problem with denial. But we are not going to mention that. We were part of that denial for months. That is the meaning of what Khan wrote there. This is perhaps the most infuriating sentence in the entire statement that this man made that day. Khan complain about delay or denial, as if Khan himself wasn't participating in that very the denial just months earlier. If you have the statement or the speech from Khan, you can look at what I'm reading. He said the pain of Christian families torn apart by violence must never be treated as mere statistics. This is the one that pained me the most. Because what I understand is that, oh, we realize we've been treating this date and statistics for years. So now we are going to say we shouldn't do that, even though that's exactly what we've been doing. This is hypocrisy. For years, CAN has issued generic statements about unfortunate incidents, regrettable violence, that has been their terminology, without naming the perpetrators. They dodge from naming it, without even calling it genocide, without demanding international intervention. And now CAN has the audacity. This thing is paining me to say that Christian days shouldn't be treated as statistics. CAN has never been treating them as statistics this entire time. CAN refused to say that even in its October 2025, 8th of October statement, that even after being forced to admit, because he was being forced to admit that Christians are being systematically attacked, CAN still refused to say something crucial. CAN refused to call it genocide. Go and read it, you will see. CAN refused to call it the name genocide. Yes. CAN refused to name the perpetrators. CAN did not say Fulani militias. No. CAN does not even say Islamic jihadists. CAN uses vague language about those who perpetrate violence. Go and read the letter, you will see. He refused to call for sanction. Go and read it. I am not saying what I'm not sure of. Go and read it. There is no way in CAN's statement that, does support what Senator Cruz bill stated. No. He did not support it. They refuse to acknowledge the government complicity. Can't just say, suggest the government should do more. Which government? Have they ever done anything to protect Christians? Can't refuse to support our self-determination as Biafrans. They have never acknowledged us. I don't even expect them to acknowledge us, but I'm calling them out. Because Biafrans are the majority Christians that they are killing. And you may ask me, why are you so hard on CAN? Yes, so I am very, very hard and angry. Because at least, leadership matters a lot in anything that we are doing. And timing matters as well. Courage also matters as well. You may say, oh, at least they eventually admitted the truth. But is that what they should do? For how many years? When your house is on fire, you don't wait for months to call fire department. You call them immediately. For months, CAN have been silent. And more Christians have been killed to the extent that they even had to behead the CAN president. And they were still muted. That is why it is paining me. Even now, CAN admission is too little, so fragile. They're isolating the words that they use. They are not coming out to say how it is. They should have been calling for CPC. They should be the first to call for Nigeria to be designated as a CPC nation. That is what they should have been doing. Instead, what are they doing? They're busy protecting their relationship with the Nigerian terrorist government. That is what CAN is doing. So that was why I said I really, really need to just pour out my mind against CAN in what they have done to Christians, because they have been silent. The Nigerian government felt emboldened to continue its denial campaign, because if your father is denying you, what do you expect your neighbors to do? Nigerian Christians felt abandoned by their own leadership. CAN is like a father for all Christians in that country. But what did they do? They abandoned Christians. They disown us because they want to maintain their status quo in Aso Rock. They want to be flying with private jets. Why did they deny before? Even when they accepted it, can you see their language? Can you see the terminology that they are using? I will yield here, please. My co-host, are you there? Holland, are you there? Holland or Guinea, what happened today? Now, are you there, Holland? Hey. Holland, can anybody hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Maybe he's busy.
Okay, I think somebody is requesting from Chuks. Chuku Chuku, we just have 30 minutes more. Please, if you want to speak, you can, request for mic now. We have just 30 minutes. Chuku, are you there? Chuku, you have the mic now, Chuku. Where is he, sir? I can't find him again. Okay, senior citizen, yes, you have the mic. Maybe internet has kicked out Chuku. When he comes back, he will speak. Senior citizen, oh, yeah, go ahead, senior citizen.
Thank you and good job. God bless you for the work you're doing. Because I wanted to speak on Khan. Khan, they are not Christians. Khan is a camouflage. Nigeria terrorist Islamic government set aside. They use them to deceive Christians. They use them to control pastors. They use them to also, convey the message or the plan, the Islamic agenda. Nigeria government have, they use them to convey it to the local churches. You understand? So it's like Khan has become the motto, a conveyor of Islamic agenda, all their plots and plans, they now use them to push it down to the local villages and towns, pastors. And this is why you won't be surprised that the fake pastor will not come to church today. This same today is the day Fulani terrorists will attack the church. And then all the members will, a lot of members will be killed. The ones that won't be killed are the ones that didn't go to church that day for God's mercy. But the pastor knows when they are called, this fake pastor, they know when these people, Fulanis, are about to attack. That day they will go to crusade somewhere else. Because they can't work with the caliphate. You see, Sultan of Sokoto, that is their papa, have also told them, or told us, that when you attack Boko Haram, you attack Allah. So people like Sultan of Sokoto are the people that will now, that are manipulating the Khan, that are telling the Khan what to do, what to say, when to. Have you ever had Khan speaking up against the killings of the Christians? No. They have been deaf, dumb, and blind on top of the situation going on. So Khan is a camouflage. They are being used by terrorist Islamic Nigeria government against Christians. In fact, Islam in Nigeria have really how do I say it, have encircled Christianity, and they are hitting them the last hit to see if they can dismantle Christianity in Nigeria. So, and this is also where citizens will now have to, or members will now have to come up to really do their duty, whereby you now see that your pastors are not doing anything concerning the situation because Khan is telling them what to do, that is been corrupt already. You members, brothers and sisters, Biafrans, Nigerians, this is now when you as a Christian, as a member, will rise up and defend yourselves. I remember some years back when they are being told, pastors, kit your ushers, give them ammunition to protect your members. Why the service is going on? Because at a particular time, then people will be in church doing service. Boko Haram will just attack them while they are inside the church. So they were told, arm your ushers, kit them very well, so that they will be able to protect even your members and you as a pastor while the service is going on. But these fake pastors wouldn't do that. They pretended like they didn't hear it, and these jihadists keep on killing Christians. So Khan is as good as useless. It's a camouflage. Khan is still under Islamic Fulani Nigeria government. So Christians, you have been on your own. Rise up, defend yourselves, fight. for yourself, for your liberation. Thank you. I stop here.
Thank you, senior citizen. Biafrans, we have 20 minutes to go and join our fundraising. All that we are saying all these days, and we will continue to say, it ends with our Ije and our Ijemma. Don't just attend space and be in the listening section without taking part in funding your freedom and liberation. We are not going back. We are not going back. Never. So please, we need that your one Ije. We need that your one Ejemma. Yes. Please, it is high time we come out, we turn up. There's something that will be shown on the screen. You have to log into the Zoom. Yes, you have to log into the Zoom room and then partake in the fundraising. We are not doing cinema. We are not doing cinema. Even if it is one Ejemma that you have, one Ejemma that you have, bring it. We will collect. Chuku, are you there now? Thank you so much, senior citizen. Chuku, are you there? I think Chuku is not close to his or her mic. I don't know the gender. Chuku? Hello, Chuku. What is this one? Uda Guinea. We don't give mic like that here. You can go to One Nigeria. We don't need distraction here. So we know they do like that. You go to One Nigeria, please. We don't need you. Or you go to the listening section. Thank you. We don't have time for this distraction. Chuku, are you there? These are the people that will come and distract us. Go and join your One Nigeria space and talk. They leave us alone. Chuk, okay, your money. Go ahead, please. Say Chuku is not here.
Okay, thank you for giving me the mic.
Please share the
Greetings,
space. Yeah, go
greetings,
ahead, your
great
money.
Biafrans.
Yeah.
Yes,
Come.
good afternoon, everyone. I greet Biafra BRGIE government. I appreciate the efforts of our government for keeping us alive. It is a very amazing thing to the stage that we are today. For it is the effort of Biafran BRGIE government that the world have taken indigenous people serious in that region, especially that zoological region particularly. So the matter of the indigenous people there being killed, it have started for long. It have started for long. We all we grow up inside it. We have been seeing it. It have been happening around us. So it is no more a new thing. Both those Fulanis, Nigerians who are denying the fact that we are saying the reality to the world, that we have been targeted by the Islamist regime all over the world, not only the Christian, both we the Biafrans, we have been targeted by the Nigeria Islamization government, and we have been targeted by the slave master empires, which have been funding Nigeria directly and indirectly, just to make sure that we Biafra remain under their captivity. So can coming up to deny those that they are leading. Now it let for the black people to decide if truly this religion that these people bring to us, if truly if it is for our own good, or then just bring it for them to use the religion to wipe away our race. Because I don't see the reason why a particular people have been targeted, have been killed, have been pushed onto all kinds of hardship of life just to survive, and this religious leader never see anything evil about it. That is why when I realize that these people, they never mean well for me, I rather turn my back toward them, because they are not for us. Even before I was born, Christians in that region have been targeted in other regions. Our own is that we have been targeted right from 80s. That is the case of Biafra. So, but other believers in that region have been targeted for years and for decades. So, coming out to deny them that these people are not being targeted, my advice to those citizens, to those Biafrans who are still following these people, is for them to deny them. Is for them to, this is the right time for we to make choice wisely. A person cannot bring his own way of life for us and now denies us when we are being under captivity of the enemy. Why? Even the blind can see the bloodshed in that region. So it is, I realize these people for long, that these people, they are not for us. These people, when I was in the northern region, that is when I realized that these people call Christendom, they are not for us, because they are not protecting us, because they don't care about us. If they care about us, the hardship that we are passing in that region, they are the one to speak for us. But they never speak for us. Now we work hard to survive. Now the enemy, the terrorists, still come and start invading us in the church, not only in the house. The terrorists come in the church and plot bomb there and blow and get everybody killed. More than 500, more than 1,000. So who are these people deceiving? It happened in our own eyes, everyone. How the churches, we are being burned, we are being destroyed by bomb. So if Sultan of Sokoto come out to claim that the genocide in that region is not being targeted in Christian, how many mosques have been burned down? How many mosques have been raised down on Friday when the ritual pray on Friday? None in that region. But more than thousands of churches have been raised down. So who now is fool among all these people? They are fool. Even those that will still go to church tomorrow and sit down in the northern region that they are praying. These people are the bunch of fool. Because if your leader denies you, you too, you have to deny him. For they don't wish well for us. So I appreciate Biafran government for our efforts. For it is the effort of Biafran BRGIE government that we have been able to draw the attention of the world in that region. And the indigenous people in that region spoke to Biafran people. This is the right time for we to fight so hard, for we to be able to live. We all have seen how the world have been playing politics with our life. Even in our own time, the masquerading that we are passing through under the religion, the people who are leading us come out to deny us. So what remains? If not for America today, who is speaking for us? Nobody. So this is the right time for we to wake up and fund the right focus. And that right focus is Biafra. For we to be able to restore ourselves, for we to be able to live in this land of the living. For we have so many enemies, and we are seeing them. They are approaching nearer. And those that we think that they will speak for us, they are not ready. Because even those people have already been occupied by the enemies. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I leave the mic here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, your money. You know what just happened to me now? I made a post and they wanted, they wanted me to verify my account. Ah, these people, eh? Thank you so much, young money. God bless you for your submission. Yeah, my co-host, are you back now? Holland, Ogini, what happened today? Oh, Mama Betty, Holland has traveled again. Holland, today no good. Mama Betty, you have the mic. Minister Betty, you have the mic.
Thank you, thank you.
My co-host, I don't know what happened to him today. Go ahead, ma.
All right. Thank you so much. I have to thank you for coming to, grace my platform. Each time you come there, we have a lot of people coming around because they love to hear from you. You have a very powerful spirit and powerful voice in this our struggle. You came to revolutionize this very BRGIE platform. They say that when King Uzziah died, Elijah saw heaven. Most of us don't come here to talk, not because we are not able to talk or we don't know what to say, but when those bad people were around, they won't let us to come in. They were just like caterpillar. You know, caterpillar, you can't push it. The only thing you can do is to allow it to move by itself so that you can pass. But I won't go to that now. I just saw the caption of this program. Nigeria denies, downplays, and diverts responsibility on the killings of Christians. Let me do it this way. First of all, I thank everybody that is here, both our friends and our enemies. You are all welcome. We are very decent people. Even when our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he taught us how to show love. When Onyendu was there, he was talking on behalf of some Yorubas and Hausas, telling us how nice they are because Fulanis are not Hausas. So we nevertheless think of them because we are people who think of others. We are not violent people, but that does not mean that if you bring your violence, we will not treat you the way you deserve. So when I saw this, I said, let me just say a word because it's almost after 6 and we will soon be, leaving the space. Do you people remember that when COVID came, I'm digressing, but I'm going to somewhere. When COVID came, these hopeless human beings, these bloodsuckers, they were not happy that Africans were dying of that COVID. So now that our people are dying, they will not talk. That they brought us Bible is not a mistake, but they lied. They lied. We know about God. Our people worship God. We believe in God. But they thought they would use it to come and deceive us because they thought we are as gullible as they think. Now, my people, you see all this, can that. All these men that have churches is all takia. If you look at them very well, they all have Islamic background, like Obama. Obama is talking like a converted Christian, but he is originally a Muslim, a radical Muslim, not the real Muslims. Because some real Muslims, I have some in my office, very decent family. Even there was a time some Muslims wanted to attack me with their religious whatever. And the children of that man with me, they attacked them back. They told them that this is not how they worship. You don't go attacking people with your religion. You give people a chance to convert if they want to. Coupled with one Islamic boy that I saw his video recently from UAE. He said that the world should not allow these Islamic people to infiltrate all the world, destroying people, radicalizing boys, that they use them even in politics, even in governmental offices. So these Christians you see in Nigeria, they have Islamic background. So if Nigeria becomes Muslim tomorrow, the whole Nigeria, including Biafra land and Oduduwa, they will not mind, because it's something that they grew in and they were raised in it. They are used to it. But being Christians and heads of churches in Nigeria is just their other way of takia, lying to people to come and extort money from Christians. So they put them as the head of CAN, that is Christian Association of Nigeria. They are all Muslims. If you check their background, they are Muslims. You know, so they are not Christians. We shouldn't listen to these people. We have to fight for ourselves. If we do not fight back, we will not get anywhere. We can't be crying over this Christian something because they don't care about us. Did you see Rome talk about it? Seriously, no. They will all come and pay lip service. And when these Christians gather all the tithes and all the money, they will send it to Rome. This time, I don't care. I am a born Catholic, but I don't care anymore because they are not doing what they are asked to do. Even our Lord Jesus Christ told us that some people will use his name to deceive us. So what are we talking about? We know all their lies. Every time Bill Gates is carrying all these crops that will be killing people all over the place. So why won't they be quiet now? When they developed COVID-19 in Wuhan, who developed it? Obama was there because Obama is Hussein. All of them that sponsored it, they took it to Africa, believing that it will wipe us out. But because COVID does not survive in a hot or temperate country, only in a cold country where it was developed. All this politics, we know it. They think we are fools. We cannot be fools forever. No, my people. Don't look at anybody that they are Christians or they are can or this or that. It is just your relationship with God. That's what I believe in now. Because Britain and Nigeria are friends. And they are watching the way these people are killing Christians, burning churches. They are not saying a word. The other day they went to Manchester to attack a Jewish building. You see what's his name? He ran out. He came out and talked just to one building. But look at what is going on in Nigeria. Has he ever talked? So my people, I don't care. We should just fight for ourselves. Donate. Today is in the next 1 hour now. We will get at it. We, Ndishoji, we should leave these Oyibo people. They are full of shit. I am not begging for any pardon because I am outraged. These people are really, really, really dealing with us. Christian nonsense. They know that they are killing us. You know, the last pope that died, he went to Syria and airlifted some people to Italy and gave them refugee status. Was he not there when all these things were happening in Nigeria? Has he ever visited Africa? So my people, this Oyibo, right from time, they are very deceitful, they are liars, and our Lord Jesus Christ himself told us, And now I believe that they killed Jesus because he's a black person. Yes. If he is like one of them, they won't. They are just painting all these things white because they want to deceive who they want to deceive. The whole of Israel are all blacks. Where are they today? They have wiped them out and went to Turkey and wherever to bring people to come and replace. Egypt, the same. So if we keep quiet, these people, I'm telling you, we have to sponsor our own freedom, fight for it. My people, now especially that somebody who cares for Christians is in power in America. Only Donald Trump, you know. So we hear all these things. When he came in that day, because he's not singing their song, they all started walking out from UN because he's the only man who stands before them and tell them the truth. So my people, we have to do whatever we can now and get our freedom by donating, no matter how little. Please, if you do not have a Zoom app, go to Play Store, download it, so that this evening, it doesn't take up to 10 minutes. You will download it in your app. Once you click on the link, as you have app downloaded, you will join, even if you don't donate. But I'm not encouraging people not to donate, because this is like what you have to make mandatory by yourself, knowing the benefit of your donation, knowing that you are saving some people, knowing that you're doing it for the recognition that we want. That's all I have to say. All this Christian nonsense, those who brought Bible, where are they? Where are they? Even when you are in their country, do they show you a kindness as Christians? They don't. So let us not deceive ourselves. Now, somebody, during my program today, I showed where a guy that called himself English Alhaji, a very young man, was showing that last night, that was on the 10th, 2 a.m., these bikers, terrorists in bike, came into the military barrack. And when you go to that military barrack, it's all boys from South that they send there. In Medugri, came 2 a.m. and pied all the soldiers, carried ammunition and left. Where is Musa? Is Musa not a Christian? He's Christopher Musa from Kaduna, the Kaduna part of Christian, or the Christian part of Kaduna. Yet he's serving the Fulanis. You know, terrorism, is it not English language? They use it to put fears in people. Otherwise, let them drop the gun and come and fight with our men with bare hands. But this is what Oyibo is doing. They are the ones selling arms to them. They will be giving you gun with right hand and the Bible with left hand. Why are we going to dwell in it? Don't we have brain? Can't we think? Have we lost our senses to know when somebody is being very deceitful? Very conniving and condescending group of human beings. No, my people, we can't continue to listen to them. I mean, when you die, they say judgment day. They did not say crucifixion day. So when the judgment comes, prepare yourself. Before God, you will plead for your own case. I thank God that he said judgment day, not crucifixion day. We are no longer concerned about this Christian nonsense. Thank you, my people. I'll see you all in the Zoom donation time. Thank you. Thank you, tutors, for your good work. Thank you, Obi, my sister. And Eunice, thank you once more. And Unyenye, everybody, Rage and Fury, Holland, I thank you all. Young Money, Asiebu, Ndewonu. Thank you, my people.
Ndewo, Mama, the beautiful woman. Mama Minister Betty, thank you so much for your submission. Ndewo, hey, my co-host today, Ndewo to all Biafrans that tuned in this little time that we had to discuss together and learn from each other. Thank you so much. We have to now move over to our fundraising. Please, please, please bring your 1AJ mind. That is all that you have. Bring. So we have to end now and then go to our fund. Somebody's
Mr.
mic.
Tutor,
Hey.
Mr. Tutor, please, I will not be able to be at the fundraising. Please, I want to give the website. Please, I beg you, only for read the website, then I will send my 100. That is all I'm waiting for. Please, I will not be at the fundraiser. Okay, anytime I see that, I will I will send it to the person that helped me to do that. Thank you.
What do you want me to do? Because it wasn't clear.
No, just the current website to my to my space DPM. I will use it. Okay,
Mama
that's all I
Betty.
need.
Mama
Yeah.
Betty. Minister Betty.
Yes.
Yeah, please, can you answer him? He's asking for the new website. Do we have any new one as of today? Or everybody's paying?
Last week, our information minister said that everybody should pay to their representatives any account that your rep gives you, because they are still working on that very link.
Okay,
Do you understand it?
yeah, Afam, just
Okay, I understand. Then I will try to check who is my dictation on Ikemba State. Then I will check that. Yeah, thank you.
okay. I will also follow up the other one. If he gives me, I'll forward it to you as well. Thank you so much, Biafrans. Thank you. I really appreciate your time. So grab your cup of coffee. Let's move to our fundraising and do what we know how to do best. Thank you, my co-host Holland, even though internet did not allow you. LB Chicago, Mama Betty, Young Money, Farm, Beauty Eunice, Senior Citizen, Stella, Madam Key, internet kicked you out, no problem. Benuwa, Senior Citizen, Ezebina. Everyone here, I really appreciate you. I appreciate your time and your contributions. Those are the listening session. Without you, who will we be talking to? Thank you so much. Yeah, God bless each and every one of us. We are very happy that the US Congress now have taken our battle on their head. They are the ones that are fighting this battle now for us from above. And this has always been our prayers. They've carried it upon their head to make sure Nigeria is designated as a CPC country. And you know what that means. We are so proud of them and we keep on appreciating them. More people are joining the team. Yes, very soon they go hear them. That panic that Akpabio is panicking, he said nobody can win this fight. They know what is coming. Yes, so he said by the time the sanctions begin to come in, so sanctions, they know that sanctions are coming and it's going to affect them. It's a targeted sanction. So, but we have to do what we are supposed to do as Biafrans. We have our own responsibilities. So please, let's keep on united and we will get this Biafra very fast. Thank you so much. See you all in our fundraising. Bye. I'll end the Zoom now. Thank you so much. I love all of you. Thank you.